So I was one of the things I was going to talk about was the testing of employees, because I was very excited when I was told that the employees will not have to be tested anymore. And so thank you. I will say thank you to Governor Newsom for that, for the reprieve that our employees will have with the weekly testing. Another thing that I was at a few weeks ago, I think it was the end of the summer league program for Valencia high school basketball. And I did notice in the smaller gym that the scoreboards are not working. And so I was just curious if we could maybe check that out. And I'm looking at you down there, maybe a little bit more money has to be spent. So, but if we can get that, because I know that the complaint was at first how hot it was in there, because the doors are open and it is awfully hot, especially as the weather has been extremely hot. But what I did notice was that the scoreboards didn't work. And so they've been having to use the flip fan. And so I was able to talk, and they said it's been out of service for quite a little while. So I think that would be great if we could get that scoreboard working, so they can really utilize the smaller gym for tournaments, for games, and I guess get our money's worth. Another thing, too, I've noticed, just because I have 2 boys in the district that play sports, I'm very, very thankful not only for the teachers in this district and like all of the hard work that they're doing, but also to these sports coaches. I know one of my sons was out at the field for football over at Esperanza every morning at 5:30 during the summer. And so since he doesn't drive yet, I was at the field, too, at 5:30. And so was my chocolate Labrador. She usually came along for the ride. Lots of rabbits run across that field in the morning. If anybody has dogs that love rabbits, that's a great place to be in the morning. But, there's a lot of coaches who are just giving tons and tons of time, hours and hours and hours. And you pick them up, and sometimes you have to go back for maybe another sport, and they're still there because they're so invested into our kids. And that's everywhere, all 4 of our high schools. And so I would just really like to have a huge shout out tonight to all of our coaches for just, really investing in our athletes. You see the band out there, the teachers for the band. Everybody's making such an investment in our students, and it really is. It's been hot this summer, and the hours are long, and we just can't thank you enough for everything that you guys have all been doing. Another thing that has come up, and it's kind of like a couple touchy subjects, but I'm just going to hit on them very fast. We've gotten a lot of emails and phone calls and text messages about the use of pronouns in our schools. A lot of parents have called and have said that they feel uncomfortable, their student feels uncomfortable if a teacher asks their child what their pronouns are. And so I know that a lot of times we have said, don't ask. If they want to share the information with you, then that's great. And so one thing that actually another teacher pointed out to me when we were kind of discussing, what's the protocols in the classroom for this, they said that what they believe and what they kind of think about is, they said, I think of it as like a job interview. When I was interviewed for a job, I wasn't asked about my race, my gender, my sexual preferences, nothing. And this is because I have protections in place because I'm an adult. They said, so I feel the same when I have students, because I have minors in my classroom. So I'm giving them the same respect because there's really no laws about minors in the classroom. The questions they're asking you. So she says, I give them the same respect. And so I just thought that was kind of food for thought tonight, because I know a lot of our students may not even know what their pronouns are. And it's just kind of a touchy subject. And so I just wanted to bring that up, that I thought one of the teachers and what they told me, how they felt about that was just kind of you think about it, like as adults, when we go in for these job interviews and these touchy subjects come up, there's laws that give the adults protection, but who's protecting the kids? And so just food for thought. Another thing that came up was monthly themes. We have monthly themes that go throughout the district for every month, if it's LGBTQ month, if it's Black History Month, if whatever the month it is. So another suggestion that somebody had was, they said, do we have to have all these months, or can we just focus on our students? They said, like in an elementary school teacher said to me was, if I could take 1 or 2 students from my classroom a week, I could hit almost every student for the whole school year. I could focus on them and focus on the student at hand. And we can really celebrate our students in our district. And it wouldn't have to be certain races, classes, whatever this is. We just celebrate the people who are in our classrooms and who are in our schools. Because, some people have looked at the list and said, well, I've been missed on this. How come we're not celebrating me? How come we're not celebrating this person? Why are we only celebrating this? And so in the middle school and the high schools, they said, well, we could technically celebrate, You could celebrate your ASB. You could celebrate your different sports club. There's a ukulele club over at Bernardo. Maybe the ukulele club gets spotlighted, one of the weeks, and they get to play. So these are just some of the suggestions that have come out, and I decided I would just throw them out there because, focusing in high school is focus on, your athletics, your band, some of the groups, the clubs, some of the things that maybe not get the focus. And so I thought it was a good idea and worth mentioning to return the focus, to the students, because every student in our district, they each have a story and they each have a different background. And if we're only taking 10 months or 10 different areas, are we representing everybody? So it would be nice to focus on all of our students throughout our whole district. And one more thing, and I'm really glad I see a lot of teachers here tonight, and so I'm really happy that everybody's here, because I think one thing, and it's always like a touchy situation, and it's a touchy subject once again to have to say, but I keep hearing from teachers, the community, I keep hearing that our teachers union is telling the community, and not only that, but telling the teachers that I hate teachers, that if somehow this board changes in the near future, that I plan on taking away pensions, that I plan on taking away pay, medical, that we're going to rewrite all of our curriculum, and Governor Newsom's going to take away our funding, that this whole school is going to turn into charter schools somehow. I've heard this week that I am a religious wingnut, and I was going to bring the Christian religion into our school. And I was going to bring the church in the school, which obviously I know that I can't do that. And so I think I'm glad that everybody is here tonight and all the teachers are here so you can take back to your school. I have no intention of doing so. I've approved 2 raises with no problem, and I think that teachers should be paid more. I have so many family members who are teachers. My uncle's a retired superintendent. My dad was a 40-year teacher coach. I am surrounded by teachers. So whoever is saying I hate teachers, can't stand teachers, that's nothing of the sort. Just because I don't necessarily fall in line with everything that maybe the union is standing for coming out of Sacramento does not mean that I do not value our teachers, that I don't value you guys as people, and that I know that you have families that you need to provide for. And so I have no intention whatsoever of turning PYL USD into charter schools. My children attend here. If I wanted my kids to go to a charter or private school, I would send them there. So that's not any of my intention. I'm very happy with our school district and the education and the sports and all the stuff that they're able to do and all the advantages they have by coming here. So I would just like to say, I would like to set the record straight, this second time I've had to do this. So if it does happen in your lunch meetings or your after school meetings, if you can say, that's not true, we may not align politically or something, but she has no intention of taking away any pay, benefits, nothing for teachers. And I do support you 100%. And I thank you for the teachers who have reached out to me and asked me these questions, because it's not easy questions to ask sometimes, especially since I'm a stranger to many people. So I encourage anyone who has any questions for me, if you hear any of these things, please reach out to me and let's have a conversation, because I absolutely do support you 100%. I do not want this place to be a charter school. I do support school choice. That doesn't mean I want to turn this place into charter schools. However, I do support the parents who'd send their kids to charter schools, private schools, or whatever. I do believe firmly that parents have a choice where they should send their children. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for all your hard work. I'm looking forward to a great year, and hopefully I decorated for fall yesterday and didn't feel really like fall, so I was kind of bummed. So I'm hoping for some fall weather coming to us shortly. So thank you.